This is the Irontrader and TGIF. Now, this was a long week of the whole 5 days here, but wow, what a great trading week. The scalp on the crude oil and the natural gas and technology, just a really, really good trading week. So, as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have the daily and the weekly chart of the crude oil. Now, before we get started, the rig count will be out today at 1 o'clock for crude and for natural gas. All right, let's take a big ski here at the old daily chart. Now, 8 SMA here. Look how nice this 8 SMA. See, once it starts rolling up, and now you're above your 21, you're above your 50-day, very, very nice. So even if this sells all the way down here to this, you're still in good shape. Okay, this is still very, very bullish. Now, there's two very, very key upside levels that I've been pointing out that are, first of all, was this candle here. This here was basically 76.18. That was your breakout. Now, yesterday, we had that. But then where did it go? Right into this 50 SMA here on your weekly chart, 77.40, and right here to your 77.66. Your 200-day. See how it just stopped it right dead? Okay, see that? That's why you trade the charts, because you know exactly where she's going. Okay, so when you look in the back, of the charts here, always look to the left. What do we have here? Okay, we popped right on up here, topping tail. Came on down, popped right on here, topping tail. Beautiful double top. Told you got to get short all the way to the bottom. Then we had a couple of bear flags. And this was this bear flag here was negated because the top of the candle closed above your red candle here, and then we had a nice run up. However, now you got to see how strong that I've been pointing out as is that 200 SMA. All right, so what do we have to do now? On the upside, you need to watch that 200. That's going to be, that 50-day. That's 77.40. On the weekly, very, very key. And then we have your 77.66. Now, if you can get above that, well, then we have a nice target up here of 79.76, which is your 100-day. And we have basically your 21-day here at 79.64. So these line up here pretty nice. So that is going to be your target area. The key is you need to close above the 50-day and the 200-day. All right, so let's just see on the downside. Well, this was the big time resistance that 70.18. Now that becomes support. Okay, that becomes support. So we just take that right across. All right, so that becomes support. Now again, if that is lost, then what we can do is we can follow the candles down. This is 75.83 here. You have 75.46. We have 75.25, but your key level is going to be this 8 SMA sitting at 74.80. That is going to be very, very crucial. Okay, so as long as it holds, then that's a good buying opportunity to take it and scalp it and go back long again, back up to this either this 50-day or the 200 SMA. Now again, if that is lost, then we come right here to the 50. You're looking at 73.62. And then right below it, you got your 21-day at 73.21. But when you look at this pattern here, you always want to look here to how did it get there? Well, you had the 70.50, and then we had the 70.47. See how that nice double bottom is with the higher low? That's what you always want to look for on charts. Okay, so when you see that, that is your time that says, hey, I got to get long here. And then once you start getting above them SMAs, especially that 8 SMA, and it starts curling up, then you know you can take a long trade. Okay, so it gives you a good swing trade, and then also a scalper trade is how I do it. So when I seen that, I took out a long, and then I also scalp it every day all the way on up here until we get to your key resistance here, which happened to be your 50-day and your 200-day. Now, the same thing happened right here because you had 70.13 and we had 70.06. So that was another nice double bottom. It didn't have that big of a run, but you got a pretty good run here. But the time to take it off is once it couldn't close above that 50-day, that tells you that, old sticky here, this is going to come down either sideways or it's going to come down. That was your time to sell when it could not get through. Okay, so always look for these patterns here because that always gives you a good advantage situation on how to take the trade and make it long ways. So again, on the recap, on the upside, we want to watch this key level 77.40. You want to watch this 77.66. That's that 200-day. If you can climb above, your target is going to be the 21-day here at 79.63 and 79.76, your 100-day. On the downside, 8 SMA, very, very crucial, 74.79. If that's lost, we come to the 50-day at 73.62, and then you have your 21-day at 73.21 right below it. Now your RSI here, well, it's kind of rolled over here, but that's no big shock because but it has plenty of room to run up if it wanted to. Your green is still above your red here. This is looking very, very bullish. Now, this is the MACD that I've been watching here. So it came all the way down, but hasn't crossed over. Now, it looks like it wants to roll up, but so far it hasn't. So if that MACD can cross above that red, just like we have here, then we know that you can have yourself a nice big bullish run. But again, what's going to stop it is this key resistance level, that 50-day and that 200-day. All right, let's take a look here at natural gas. All right, natural gas just got wet and wild. Now, today is going to be something that you want to pay attention to on natural gas. Okay, so in the U.S. here, the Biden administration is going to have a little announcement debate today on these LNG ports. They're holding up the one there in Louisiana right now, and again, if that can affect Pennsylvania, Ohio, and all of Texas, and all the LNG, that going to go out of this country. So I don't know why he's really doing it, because really natural gas is very, very clean. And if you can't export this to, say, countries like Germany and stuff, basically what they're going to do is they're going to use coal, which is way dirtier than what natural gas is. So I don't know what this, and I know it's election year. He's trying to do something like with the climate people, but it doesn't make any sense, because if you're looking at climate change, it's not just a U.S. thing. I mean, it's a world thing. So if you don't ship the LNG to these other countries, they're going to use coal instead, and I don't see what the advantage of doing that. So we got to see how that's all going to shake out. But he's going to make an announcement today if he's going to try to hold up this pipeline or hold up what he's going to do there in Louisiana. I'm not really sure exactly what his reasoning is behind this, but I guess we'll have to try to find out today. Now, here we had really just an absolute classic chart. So we had, when you look at the top of this candle, you had that 340 and at the top of this 3.39. So that was just an absolute beautiful double top here to tell you that wasn't going to hold. We're going to get a nice sell-off. And then it rallied up here. So you didn't want to get too crazy because you're still holding this 8 SMA here at the time. But when it rallied up here at that 3.39, and then you had that retest on that Friday at 3.37, that was the time that I sold right into it, because I could see that's a lower high situation, okay, with a double top. So then you have a really nice sell-off. And then you always want to watch these candles like what you have here, okay, because this is basically like a tweezer top, which is like right here, and that's usually a selling sign. Just like when you get on the bottom here, see this tweezer kind of deal? Okay, and same thing on the bottom, then she rallied up real nice. Now, this got a little bit out of control here. This ran up, but it went right into that 100 SMA. Could not hold it. And now when you look at this candle, okay, you look at the price, that is now was below the 100. Yesterday, it finished below the 8, your 15, your 20-day, and your 200-day. That's where the price is. Now, so far today, we have an indecision candle. So what you really want to do, let's just take a look at the upside first. So your resistance level is going to be this 8 SMA. This is going to be very, very key, 2.61. That is going to be very, very crucial. If you can get above that, then your next level is going to be a 2.67. That's your 200 SMA. And then right above that, we have the 2.71, your 50, and then we have your 21-day right above that at 2.75. And then we have your 100-day, which is basically a retest area of 2.86. So you have a lot of resistance. Now, this candle just blew right on up here, but I think it had a lot to do with the contract roll. And it blew right on up here. But you notice that the key is closing. Where does the price close? It couldn't hold any of that, and it closed below. So now, what do we have? This is an indecision candle here so far, but it's early. Okay, so what we need to do is if you let's look at the downside. So you want to look at today's low here so far at 2.54. If that's locked, we look always to yesterday's candle, the high, the low, and the close. So you want to look at this 2.526 candle, and then we come to this candle right here at sitting at 2.49, and then this is the critical candle. This is that 2.47 because see, this was the gap, and then the bottom of that candle at 2.5. One was the fill. So you want to look at that 2.47 here. So if that holds, then we can get some sideways action. If it doesn't, you have a nice retest here at 2.31. Now, how you got to the 2.31 is we look to the candle. On this candle, you have 2.29. Okay, so you have that. You made a higher low. So that was a nice, good double bottom. And that tells you that you got to go long as that holds. And it did very nicely. It doesn't have to come down all the way to the retest at 2.23. Okay, so always look at it. But now you had that nice tweezer kind of a bottom situation, and you had a nice rally up. It just that yesterday, it just couldn't hold. It just got really violent. However, it was great trading. I made a lot of money off that KOLD. That was the short because I went short because it couldn't hold this. And then when she started coming down, it just lopped right below. So again, today, so you want to watch this key level. This is going to be critical, this 2.61. Anytime you get below that 8 SMA here, just like we had here, okay, you fight it the whole way. When you get above it, then it becomes a really nice support. All right, so this is what you want to look at, 2.615. Okay, and then right above it is going to be that 200-day. So just keep that in mind. That's that 2.67. And then you can, always look at your 2.71 here and your 2.75. But for today, watch that 8-day and watch that 200-day. Very, very crucial. Now, on the downside, basically watch yesterday's low, that 2.52, and then that 2.49, and then this key level here at 2.47. So that is going to be on your downside. Now, your RSI, well, you're looking okay here. Your MACD, well, your green is still below your red. It tried to curl up yesterday, but when that sold red off here, it just didn't do anything. Now, right now, there's no divergences here that I can see. So basically, just watch that 8 SMA and that 200-day on the upside, and then watch yesterday's low here on the downside. All right, let's take a look here on an hourly and a 4-hour. Now, an hourly chart and a 4-hour chart, I always use these, okay? Now, these are more like for if you're doing like a swing trade kind of a situation. Now, if you're scalping, you want to use a tick chart, a 1, a 5, a 15-minute chart. But if you want to take the trade out longer, you always use an hourly chart. Now, I'll give you a couple examples why. When you see this 3.39 here, and then we have your 3.37, okay, that retest. So basically, you could say, hey, I can take this and I can go short with this all the way on down. Because when you see that double top with the lower high, that usually tells you that's going right on down. And it did. Came all the way on down. Then what you always do is look for a bottom. But you don't buy that bottom there, or you don't buy it on the way up. You say, oh, geez, I missed it. FOMO, I got to get in. No, you don't have to get in. The key is wait for the retest. And that's what it did. It retested. So you have a nice double bottom pattern here. And then she rallied right on up. Now, she just couldn't get much going here on the upside. But see, this is why you want to look at a daily and a weekly chart, because that gives you everything. So like in my system here, I got 2 PCs. I got 10 screens going. So all I got to do is look up. Everything is like right in front of you. But I can also trade off a laptop, a tablet, a phone. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying this is a lot easier when you just look at it, because you can see the double top very clear. You can see the double bottom here very clear. Now, today what you want to do here on the downside is you want to watch this 21 SMA. Okay, there's that 2.57. And on the upside, we want to watch that 50, 2.4, and then you want to watch that 200 SMA. That is going to be here on your upside. Now, when we look at an hourly chart, you can see it very clearly. There's that double bottom situation. So when you see that, you want to take a really nice long. So now we got to see if this 2.52 here is going to hold. So far it is holding, but there's a lot of day left. Okay, so there's a lot of day left. So it topped right out here. It couldn't get up any higher. So this is your next level. If you could have got higher at that 2.96, and then you just follow these price channels all the way up until you get a retest. But right now here, you had a nice double bottom, ran to the top, came down here. Now we got to see what we're going to have here on the situation. So when you look at these two candles here on your 4 hour, so you take this candle right here, you're looking at 2.526. And then we have a higher low candle here at 2.54. Okay, so you have a nice double bottom situation going on here. Now we have to see if that's going to be development to take it right back on up. All right. Okay, that's what I got for you on the crude and the natty gas. I'll have more for you today, later today after the pick close at 2:30. Thanks for watching.